Hello, my name is Nala-ish, and I'm an illustrator who finally fixed this tree. In the last episode, we made this tower for our happy ghast, and while I was building it, I got a bit of an idea for this area. I was thinking it would be cool to have like a drop-off spot for whenever I'm hauling over some stuff with my ghast. So let's climb up, and I can show you what I'm thinking. I really like this sort of swoop sort of shape, so I want to design around that. I started off using a screenshot to make sure that I got the proportions right. And I'm picturing a giant rock pillar with a piece that's shattered off, with the right side following that little swoop line that I was talking about. There's a lot of going back and forth of me trying to figure out the shape of everything, but the gist of it is that I want an elevated platform that has a specific spot where I can dump the chest boats that's on the ghast. There's a little shed for a bit of storage, and I want a crane that helps bring the goods down to the ground level. And on the ground level is a plaza, which is just an open space that's been paved over, and one side is a retaining wall that's up against the platform. I also want to put in a little pumpkin and melon patch, and we can have an automatic farm for that somewhere hidden, so that we can go trade them with our farming villager. I fiddled around with the shape of the rock pillar a bit, until I landed on this one. And with a quick time lapse of the colors, this is what we're going to be making today. That's a lot of stuff to do, so hopefully... Ow! I missed. Hopefully we can finish it all in one episode. Detaching my face, I think right here at this level is actually perfect for where the crane's gonna sit. We just need to first cut down all the trees so we can have a better look at what we're working with. Just gonna go straight into shaping. The pumpkin and melon patch is gonna be sticking out over here, but we're gonna take it down a few blocks. I may have dug out a lot more than I should have. Whoops. I'll just build it out again. Is this shape right? The melon and pumpkin patches are here. The little jutting out wall and the paths. The platform where the crane's gonna sit. The little shed. And the drop-off zone. And of course the giant cliff face in the back. Okay, let's fix this up then. I've put up the retaining wall and I'm liking the shape of it, but we do need to shave down some of this dirt. Hi! Are you stuck in there? Huh? I kinda wanna keep him. Your name is now Jeffrey, and let's keep you safe. This is coming along, it's looking good. In the drawing, I have the stairs coming in through this way, but it'll be more convenient if it comes up this way instead. Then it's just like a straight shot up to the top. It'll be like these stairs that are like chiseled out of the stone. Okay, just added in a bit more shaping to the rock wall. It's always a bit daunting when you need to start on a big terraforming project. So to help with that a bit, I've taken my drawing and drew out all the angles of the rocks. And if we take this and sort of superimpose it onto the game, we can use it as reference while we put up the wireframe structure. It happened again. This turned out a lot larger and taller than I was planning it to be. You would think that I would have learned by now, but I guess not. And now we must fill this all in. This ended up being a bit harder than I anticipated, even with all the prep work with the wireframing. I didn't quite get the angles of the wireframe structures right, so it started to just kind of fall apart once I was filling it in, and I had to start winging it. The angle here should have been more like this, so I had to take some down and rework it. Everything was looking too jagged, and then I realized that I should start using stuff like the stairs, slabs, and fences. And once I started using those, it really helped smooth everything out. It was very finicky, but it turned out okay. These things always take a lot longer than I expect. It's not textured yet, but I kind of need a break from all the rock. And yeah, the back is wide open. I just don't think I have enough time to finish this week. But I mean, if you come over here and over here, yeah, I keep doing this. Someday soon, I'm gonna come back and do all the backs of these. I promise. But the front looks nice, right? Right, Jeffrey? You understand the struggle. I was gonna start on the crane, but looking at this, I don't think there's enough room at the moment. I'm just gonna bring out the retaining wall by a block. Tuff seems pretty good for the wall, just so it doesn't blend in with the cliff. I'm unsure if I want to do spruce or dark oak, but shelves at the bottom will look pretty good. Let's see what it's gonna look like with some of the floor blocks. We shall go with the dark oak. Have like the mossy cobble and brick near the top, with a tiny bit of regular tuff as well. And in this corner, it's gonna be a bit more damp and grimy, so we can mix in some deep slate. And for the bottom here, I was thinking basalt. Oh, but like, these are kind of horizontal in shape, so maybe we just put the basalt sideways as well. Okay, we have a lot of options up there. I did try these fences, because it felt like maybe we needed some sort of interest on the wall, but it's not quite right. If we just have full blocks, be a bit sticking out, maybe it'll be enough? More? Oh, I think I like these stairs. Just a bit of subtle detailing. For the top ledge, I think I'm liking just the regular slab. Maybe we should go with spruce, just so that it's different compared to the dark oak columns. Okay, I take it back. I'm thinking ahead, and the crane is probably going to be made with spruce. And the spruce right now is kind of merging in with the dirt as well. So we will go with dark oak instead. I took all that time putting in the buttons in the shelves, but I think stairs look a bit better at the bottom here. It just looks more sturdy. Okay, the retaining wall is done. Looks good from this angle too. And now we can work on the crane. In the first drawing that we did, I didn't really draw out a detailed version of the crane, so let me take some time to do that right now. There are these cranes from the Middle Ages called tread wheel cranes, where there's a big wheel that a person walks in to power the crane and hoist the things up and down, pretty much like a giant hamster wheel. So that was the design that I wanted to go with. But then I thought, if redstone contraptions exist in this Minecraft world, couldn't the crane also be mechanically powered by redstone? So I still kept the general design of the treadwheel cranes, but instead of the wheel, we can put in a fake redstone contraption at the end. I also imagine the middle post can swivel back and forth. Alright, the legs of the crane can be something like this, and the center turning post thingy can be right in the middle. And we can have tuff to go around it so it looks like it might swivel around. To get the scale right, I'm just gonna quickly draw in the crane. And I used the fence for the middle post, but I think we're gonna have to go with a solid block instead. It angles up, the chain or the rope comes down, the back area, and the mechanism that pulls in the rope. This crane might end up being a bit more stubby compared to the drawing that we did, but if it was any taller, it wouldn't be the right scale for the area, so I'm okay with a slightly squished crane. We want to pretend that this thing in the middle can rotate, so stairs for that little indent. Ooh, I really should have given myself more room for the crane. We're gonna have to shave off some of this cliff. Well, it's all flattened out. Let's hope that's enough room now. Oh, okay. That is very steep. So maybe slabs would work? Yes. I thought maybe using fences for the back here, but it might be too skinny. Let me put in the other angles first and then we can decide. Yeah, it looks a bit off. I guess I was worried that it looks a bit too bulky, but it's probably fine. If we adjust the supports on the legs and the slabs into trapdoors, so it looks slightly less squashed. And on the tip right here, grindstone for the pulley system. Ideally, the rope or chain would be coming down here, but because we're using slabs, that's gonna look weird. So I'm just gonna put in some buttons here instead. Right, the chain at this moment would be going through this log, which doesn't really make sense. So we can do this, and the chain can go down the middle. Wait, I put the chain in the wrong spot. Instead of iron chains, I'm gonna put in copper bars instead. I think the first stage of oxidization looks more like a rope. Oh right, it would attach if it's a bar. So I guess... oh, in some parts it can be a chain. A bit over here too. Alright, so fake redstone thingy. I like how the top of the crafter looks like a keypad. And we can also try putting in other redstone-y blocks. This might take a while. No, Jeffrey. Oh no. He's actually gone. I just wanted to get a better look at the thing I was making. And I was like, oh, I could just remove this block. You'll be fine. And right as the block got removed, I remembered it was raining. So sad. Well, that was devastating, but I did get this done. I ended up going really simple instead. We just have the crafter as the keypad, and we have a redstone block to signify that this is some sort of machine. The last thing with the crane is the actual platform or the pallet with the chests and all the barrels that it's carrying. Strange idea, but what does this look like? Okay, that's not gonna work. I've seen designs like this where they use levers, but ooh, idea. Boats? Leash? Ooh, yeah, this might work. Just gotta nudge it a bit. Throw in some chests and barrels. Mini blocks. I really like how this looks. But what I don't like is the fact that I only have 2 more golden carrots left. I'll be back soon. It's time to make the melon and pumpkin farm. I ended up stacking the 2 farms, and the hoppers go down here. The melon slices gets crafted into full melon blocks, and the hoppers go through the floor to these 2 item elevators, which goes up to the surface to these barrels. And this is making a lot more pumpkin and melon than I thought it would. These barrels are kind of in an awkward spot. It would have been better if they were over here a bit more. But we will make this work. I can actually put on moss carpet here. And maybe this is where we go into the pumpkin and melon patch. A little gate. Give these guys stems. Maybe not the candles. Buttons work though. I'm just gonna take out the rooted dirt and just have it all coarse dirt and the podzol. The rooted dirt kind of looks a bit too close in color with what we're using for the path. To finish this off, we need a bit of a retaining wall. Looking good. While we're here, we might as well do the plaza too. And we're gonna keep it the same block palette as the paths. Just to help visualize, let's plan this out a bit more. So it's like this. There's eventually gonna be a path that leads out of this area. And for the elevation, we should change it so there's a bit more room. so we can have some sort of design in the ground. Eventually we'll redo this path and the tree. This is kind of looking like a guy is holding up a giant tadpole. It's gonna be mostly just the brown mushroom block. Along the edges, we can have some of the packed mud. I just came up with a really simple design for the floor, just a hexagon with a diamond. I don't want it to be super bold and colorful. We can just sprinkle in some granite. Okay, maybe not this. Terracotta. Yeah, I think I like it. It might be fun if we try to make a shadow on the ground that's cast down from the palette. I turned my screen into grayscale and tried to make it that way, but my initial block choices were kind of bad, so once it was back in color, it was not great. Oh, but maybe there's something here. Maybe I just have to kind of fiddle around with it. Flipping back between grayscale and color does help though. I think I'm kind of getting it. Now we just need to add some chests and barrels here, like someone has already started unloading. Throw in a work light. If we're playing with lights and shadows, might as well also put it in here too. It's probably not everyone's cup of tea to do stuff like this, but I find it pretty cool. Maybe we can add some lamps. I'm just gonna reuse this design. It's not the most exciting thing in the world, but it's kind of sentimental because I made this in my second episode. The chain is oxidized now, so we can scrape it back and wax. Let's also finalize everything on this platform. The drop-off zone can be right here. Just a square. We can put in lighting in the corners. It's probably more dirty near the middle. Oh, the redstone torches turn off. Man, that works. They're kind of like pylons. Ooh, and maybe just redstone dust. Just to outline the drop-off zone. Worn down pathway where people would usually walk. The crane lifts and swings this way, then the pallet will land here-ish. The ground leading up to the keypad would also probably be a bit worn down. I have noticed a bit of a design flaw. So this entire middle post rotates, right? So the pallet gets cranked up, then it swings inwards. So naturally, while it rotates, this back part also rotates. But if the controls are here, you won't be able to reach it because it'll be hanging over the edge. And that's not good. So we're gonna have to put in a balcony. It can also be like a little place to take a break. Another little flaw, this control panel is what brings the rope up and down, but it probably shouldn't be the same thing that's rotating the middle post. Or else you'll have to like walk along with the crane as it's rotating. So there should be something up there for the rotation control. Just add a little shelf with a button in it. Huh, the button is floating. Interesting. All that's left to do up here is a small little shed, which I drew here. It's just a little lean-to with some shelves and some storage. And with the power of editing magic, here it is. I did need to tweak it a tiny bit so that it works in game, but I think I got it relatively close. And we have this, a compact copper golem charging station. Because this guy, I've got a job for you. You've probably seen this around, but I'm gonna have a copper chest here and some hoppers underground, and it'll lead to this chest, so that the golem can go back and forth, and it'll look like it's unpacking for me. If I just want to keep it simple and use hoppers, the copper chest is gonna have to be in the ground. We can kind of disguise the hole with these. Scrape it back a little so it's that beigey brown color. And we fill this chest with stuff. Hello, welcome back. Now, can you find the chest? Okay, he seems confused, so I guess not. Guess we're gonna have to open this up a little bit. Ooh, there he goes. Maybe we can put stairs here. Oh. Yes, thank you. I might come back to this later and add some redstone stuff so the chest isn't so in the ground. But for now, it's working. Now all that's left to do is all the texturing. Let's build up the sky storage so it's easier to build with the ghast. Turns out this is all I have left for andesite. So... time for the pit mine. Okay, I think that's enough. Let's get to it. Hi, I'm trying to convert the villager into a zombie, but they have somehow managed to switch places. Break that trapdoor. Ow. Stop paying attention to me and please attack the villager. Thank you. How should I do this? Oh no. This is going very poorly. It seems like the zombie despawned, so that's good at least. Okay, let's just block you off. Splash you. Shove this apple in your mouth. Oh, what a mess. Yay, you're cured. And now get back into your cubicle, please. Yay, emeralds. We don't have to worry too much about food anymore. Let's go take a look at what I did. So here it is. I didn't do too much texturing on this, but I think it turned out pretty good. I was slightly worried because these two have kind of different shapes from one another. This one is more rugged, while the one we just made is more angular. So I thought that it might look out of place right next to each other. But because I did use the same block palette for the texturing, I think that brought it together okay, and it's cohesive enough. I did end up going and removing some blocks from this part though. It was just sticking out a bit too much and looked too messy compared to what I did over here. And I'll leave it for now, but I might revisit this again and take away some blocks and make it slightly more angular and more simple. I was also able to fix the copper chest. I added in a dropper underneath, so whenever a new item gets put into the dropper, the redstone goes around and shoots the item into the chest above. It is still in the ground, but it looks less weird than what it was before. It would be really useful if there's like a bridge from here to over there, so I can get back and forth really easily. But I think that'll have to be for another episode. So let's take one last look with the drawing. I am happy that this section is done. Well, apart from the back, but we don't talk about that. And now we have a good place to snip off all the chest boats from the ghast. So that'll be it for me today. If you're watching this when it comes out, I hope you're having a great holiday season, and I'll see you in the new year. Bye!